Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my The Last of Us Remastered Grounded difficulty walkthrough. In this episode we are taking on Chapter 8, also known as the Lakeside Resort, and this is part 1 of 2. We start the chapter by going deer hunting with Ellie. Unfortunately, this does not include Christopher Walken and Russian roulette. Instead, it's just Ellie, a bow, and Bambi's mom. And enjoy this hunting sequence. Take in the scenery and enjoy the peacefulness, because after this you're gonna spend 4 minutes in absolute hell. So one thing to know about the deer hunting sequence is sometimes the deer will raise its head and start listening for you. That's your cue to sit still. While it's keeping its head down, you can sneak towards it, but as soon as it raises its head, stand still, or else it will notice you and run away. So I progress slowly towards the deer, trying to line up my bow and snap.
Gotcha.
That's the first hit. You have to hit the deer twice for the game to progress into the next part of this stage. After you hit the deer the first time, you'll see a blood trail, so that makes it easier for you to follow the deer onwards. So just continue, as I said, follow the trail of blood, and you'll quickly catch up to it. As said simply, and I see it there right in front of me. I'm not gonna lie to you about this chapter. This is where the difficulty of grounded mode peaks.
Steady.
And what a peak it is.
Oh, man.
Because after this quite peaceful, nice deer hunt, you're gonna meet David, and you're gonna make a stand inside a small shed. And I hate that sequence, because it is, I'm not gonna lie, it's extremely hard. Most of the spawns in that fight are fixed, so I think you can memorize most of the enemy spawns. But you have to keep a balance between taking down the enemies and letting them into the room where you're making your stand, so to speak. And basically they will get too close for comfort a lot of the time, and prepare to die, because you most likely will a few times during that sequence, but it can be done. And I suggest you just look at the fight in this video, try to memorize the spawns. I will give you my best tips for it.
Okay.
So the first thing I do when this fight kicks off, I always run over to this window on the right and take down the 3 enemies running towards us. You start the fight with 4 bullets and 9 arrows. When you run out of bullets, you will get 1 reload from David, who will give you 6 bullets. I think you fit 4 bullets into rifle. Try to keep your rifle loaded at all times. As soon as you have downtime between attacks, try to reload. And also use your knife when you can. But the first 2 spawns are quite easy. And after that, David is gonna want your help to pull a locker in front of the window. Do not help him. Instead, go over to this window and take down the clicker, which will be coming on screen now. If you help him with that locker, you'll get attacked by a clicker in the window. You're gonna have to mash the square button, and I think it drains a little bit of your health. So just let him do it himself and concentrate on taking down the enemies. And as I said, this the reason he only gave me 5 bullets right now was that I still had 1 bullet. So you get a refill of totally 6 bullets. And as you can see, this room is very small. try to keep your back against a corner, and it's all about balance. Do you want to take them out outside the windows, or do you want to let them in? Because if you shoot down too many enemies before they can get in, you will not get any ammo refills. You just get one from David, and the rest you're gonna have to loot from corpses. And when gathering ammo, always stay mobile. I like to keep my back against that corner as much as I can, but be very aware of your surroundings. You saw me almost getting caught there, got really close, and when David ends up in a fight with one of them, use your knife if you can to conserve your ammo, because you're gonna need it. And that looked easy, didn't it? But we're not quite out of the woods yet. When you run through this corridor, stay to the left. You see that arm reaching in? That killed me at one of my tries, and we're not at the checkpoint yet. Also, these two clickers, you see me missing one? Shoot him, or else he will get through the door and he can take you out instantly. But as soon as he has covered the door with the locker and you progress through this door, you're safe. You have just survived the hardest fight in the entire game, and that ain't no joke. So we move on. You see me pausing there for a second, just wanted to make sure that I had really reached the checkpoint, because I was quite nervous. I was stuck there for quite a while. I think I was stuck there for like 45 minutes or something, and that fight is only about 4 minutes in its entirety, so I died quite a few times. And now we're gonna do some sneaking. As you see my amazing editing skills in this little transition. Awesome stuff. This area is can be quite tense, because there are quite a few clickers and they stay pretty close to you. But as long as you're very careful and don't make enough noise, you should be just fine, and they shouldn't be the wiser to where you are. So wait behind that wall until you see that clicker has passed you and jump into this hole. Be very careful, because sometimes the clicker can hear you and come down the hole after you. And now we just have one clicker left we need to get past, and that's the one right in front of us, coming into screen in just a second. And we want to get up the ladder to the left. So, and that clicker just patrols back and forth around that corner. So what I usually do, and which I also do in this video, is I sneak in here to the middle. You see him right there, and as long as you stay behind this corner, you shouldn't be detected. If you want to play it really safe, you can throw the brick over to the left and make him run that way, because as soon as you get up that ladder, you're safe. But I like to use the ballsy approach at times, so I wait until he passes the corner. I sneak a little bit too fast for comfort. I was just at the brink of getting spotted, and we're through. How easy was that? And this is just a few seconds later. Once again, my amazing editing skills, because I failed this once. David's gonna help you up on this ledge, and you're gonna face off against one clicker. This clicker is quite easy to take down. Just use a brick, throw it in his face, and stab him with your good old-fashioned switchblade. So here he comes running, and we're gonna take his ass out. He goes over to the right, throw the brick, quick stab, and down he goes. And here comes the second hardest fight in the game, or at least very soon. Pick up another brick. Bricks, always carry a brick.
Get ready.
And this is the barn fight. In this room you can pick up a Molotov, I think, and a spike grenade. Or for some reason I'm not quite sure where I picked them up. Conserve those, because we're gonna use them against a bloater that decides to join the party after a while. But the first 5 enemies, to my knowledge, they always spawn in at the end of this corridor. I usually make my stand in this corridor, try to stay away from the big room, because when I watched through this video before narrating it, and just so you know, I'm not quite sure how I survived that. Sometimes the gods have mercy on you. But I came into this fight, I had 2 bullets and 4 arrows, and when I watched through this video before I started commentating on it, I counted 21 bodies. So this is a huge fight. You will pick up ammo from the corpses, but stay mobile. You see him? He got way too close. And the brick followed by the stab is a great technique. Be a bit careful with it though, because if you throw a brick and the enemy goes into the stun animation, if David shoots the enemy during that animation, they will go out of your stun animation and you may run into their grasp and die. So continuing on, there are quite a few enemies. As I said, I counted a complete 21 bodies after this fight was over. And I throw the grenade here. Try to make it a bit more to the left, because that is where the bloater is gonna land. I thought he was gonna come in now, so that's why I threw it. Wait a little bit longer, because I get really lucky, because I think there are 2 more spawns of enemies before the bloater shows up. And I got really lucky that none of the ordinary infected triggered the grenade, because that could have put my ass in a whole lot of trouble. But you're gonna know when the bloater comes, because Ellie yells something like it's a bloater or something. And David saves my ass, because I was unaware of that clicker until he fired. And I think he's the last, or I think these 2 guys are the last enemies before the bloater comes. Let's see. And this is one of those fights where you're gonna have to react and adapt, as I always say. And you're gonna make it through, yeah. Ellie screams, there's a bloater coming in, the grenade hits him first, throw the Molotov, and we put him out of his misery. Because a grenade and a Molotov in combination with each other will take him out. They are amazingly effective against him. And now there's only 1 or 2 enemies left. You have successfully completed the hardest fights of this game. After this, there are a few jarring moments, but nothing like this. This is the absolutely hardest part of the game, and you have survived and you have persevered. And that is also the end of this video, coming right up. I want to thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.